Hello everyone, so today we'll be covering Math CA for grade 5. So what are we doing for the first question? It's multiplication. So what does that off mean? The off that you're seeing here means multiplication. So let's write it now. 6 over 11 times 55. Right? Now, first of all, I always say that whenever you're trying to do these kind of questions, remember that simplify first, because multiplying larger numbers than looking for the simplest form is extremely difficult. So always try to simplify first. So you'll divide here by 11, and we know that 55, a number repeating itself, is always in the multiplication of 11. So you'll be dividing here by 11 as well. Now, when you're dividing this, you'll get 6 times 5. And 11 times 11 is 1, so 6 times 5 is 30. Right, as a whole number here, 30. Let's go to the next one. Okay, now here it's 25.28 plus 9.5. Now, I know these seems easy, but some students, they make some mistakes in placing the decimal point and the number. They get confused by that. Now, the empty places, you can always put a 0 here, because 0 is like it represents empty spaces. So you can write like now 8 plus 0 is 8, 7 plus 5 is 5 plus 2 is 7, 9 plus 5 is 14, you'll put the 4 here and 1 up, and you get 34, so 34.78. Now let's go to the next one. Now this is here is subtraction, 47.4, subtract that by 5.65. Okay, just got a bit thicker, the marker, don't worry about it. Okay, now when you're subtracting this, what are you getting? So you can always simplify it, right? So what will you do? You will, first of all, you cross out the 7 because 7 is the largest number at the top. So you'll land on the first largest number that's nearest to the smallest number, the number that you want to change. So you landed at 7, will become 6. This will become 14. Now remember, you're supposed to take value from the number beside it, right? So 14, 0 is still smaller than 5, and we cannot have, when we're subtracting, we cannot have a small number above. So we have to cross this out, take from it, we make it 13, we make this 10. Now 10 minus 5 is 5, 13 minus 6 is, what is it going to be? It's going to be 7, and then we have 6 minus 5 is 1, and 4.75 is your answer here. Sorry, 4.175. If you have any questions, you can always ask me in the comment section below. You'll have my email in the description. You can reach out to me for any classes or demo sessions you'd like to have. Now let's do this one. 7.4, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. 7.4 times 8.2. When you do this, remember, I have placed the decimals below each other, but you don't really have to put the decimal underneath each other. Now, how do you decide where to place the decimal? We'll just discuss it in a minute. 2 times 4 is 8, 7 times 2 is 14. You cross this out, you put a 0 at the bottom. This is a rule, you always have to put a 0 at the bottom. 8 times 4 is 32, you put the 2 here, 3 here. And 7 times 4 is 56, plus 3 is 56. 59, let's put it here. Now let's just add. So when we add, what do we get? 8, 6, this is 10. Sorry, just let me put the 0 here. 0 and 1. 6. So now, how many places are there after the decimal? You have to add. So I have, let me change the color. This one, I have one number after the decimal, right? So 1 decimal place. The next one, the same thing, 1 decimal place. So what is that? 2 decimal places. So I'll put it 1, 2. I'll put it here. 60.68. Now here, whenever you have these kind of questions, remember, you're going to move the decimal point. You're not going to move anything else, you're just going to move the decimal point. When you move the decimal point, what is going to happen? So 5.249, you're going to move the decimal point to the left. To the right, sorry. So this direction. So then you're going to move it 1, 2, 3. Now, how do I know that I have to move it 3 times? Because there are 3 zeros, right? So it will be 5.249. Next one. Next we have 0.0273 times. Now, this 10 to the power of 5, what does that mean? It says that after the 1, there are 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, what did I say initially? That whenever we're moving the decimal point, you'll count the number of zeros, and it's multiplication. Remember, it's multiplication. And you have the number of zeros are 5 here, so you move the decimal point to the left 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. So 273, 2730. Now the next one. You have here 1.831. Now again, write it 1.831. And how many zeros are there? 4, right? So we're going to take the decimal point out 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here. 18310. 18310. Let's go to the next one. Now here, usually people get confused by the word problem, but just read them part by part and understand what they're trying to tell you. The diameter of a seed is 0.09. So there is a seed, it's a diameter. So like the side of it is 0.09. Under a microscope, the image appears 100 times larger than it actually is. So microscope, as you know, it makes the image look bigger. Like, you know, our camera, as we zoom into it, it makes things look bigger. The same thing like that. How big does the diameter of the seed image appear under the microscope? They're asking about the seed image inside the microscope, and they have given you that it is 100 times larger. So you just multiply 0.09 by 100. So you take the decimal point to the right 2 times. Let's do that. 1, 2, there you go, it's a 9. So when you look at the image under the microscope, it has increased its diameter to 9, from 0.09 to 9. Now let's add these. Now whenever you're adding these numbers, remember, keep in mind, you can do it 2 ways. Either you can stack them like this, 8.6 plus 0.2 plus 1.46, or you can solve the 8.6 plus 0.2 and then add the answer to 1.46. Let's do both ways. So put 0 here and 0 here. You can just add it. 6 plus 2 is 8. 8 plus 4 is 12. You put the 2 here, 1 up. 8, 9, 10, 10.26. Either you can do it directly like this, which will be, you know, anyways easier for you. You can do it that way. You just have to get to the right answer. The next one is 8.6 plus 0.2. You can add it, 8.8. Then you add this number, 8.8, to 1.46. 1.46. And you put a 0 at the top. Then you add. You get 6, 12, 8, 9, 10. Look, you're getting the same answer. 10.26, the same way. So it depends on you how you would like to do it. 10.26. Now here again, let's do the first one, 14.17 plus 4.6. Some of the questions, I'll skip them because they're just repeating the same concept. If you understand it, you can do it by yourself as well. It'll be practice for yours. So 7, 6 plus 1 is 7 again, 4 plus 4 is 8, and then 2.877. Sorry, 18.77. Now in this one, I'll do the second one just to show you how the whole number changes into a decimal point. So a 13.6, every whole number has a decimal point after it. So then like this, and 2.91, 2.91. Then you put the decimal up, and then 1, 9, 6, 7, 8, 8 here, 3 here, 38.9. 0.91, let's go to the next one. Okay. Here again, you're just going to do subtraction, the opposite of what we were doing previously. So 19.0 the same way. 19.0 minus 6.2. You do this, then you subtract. You get here, it will become 8. Here will become 10. 10 minus 2 is 8. 8 minus 6 is 2 and 1, 12.8. Okay, the bottom one you can do it by yourself. It's easier, it's just with 1. Okay, now here a lot of students are getting confused by this. By the first one especially, so 0.96. Look at where your tenth is. This is your tenth, beside it is your hundredths. So what will you do here? You will round, right? So the nearest tenth. You look at 9, look at the number beside it. Now remember, when you're rounding, that's always the same thing you're doing. If it's a decimal number or a whole number. You look at the place value that they're saying, tenth, this is the tenth. You look at the number beside it. If it's equals to 5 or more than 5, you round up. So you add 1. If I add 1 to the 9, what happens? It becomes 10, right? So 10 means I'm just going to put the 1 in this section. So it will just become 1. So just understand that when you have 9 and you're rounding it up, it will just become 1. Okay? A decimal point, 0.96 will just become 1. Keep that in mind. 0.172. Again, you'll look at 1, you look at the number beside it, it's equals to more than 5. So then you'll round up, so 0.2. The second thing, the same thing you'll do with 0.30, but what's happening here? The number beside it is 0 now, right? So we're looking at 3, we look at the number beside it, it's 0 now. So if it's 0, what happens is that it's less than 5, right? It's equals to or less than 5. So what are we going to do? We're going to keep it the same, 0.3. Then what happens at the bottom, you're just going to do subtraction. Now, instead of writing 0.96 minus 0.72 minus 0.307, you'll get confused because they want your approximation. So this will be 1 minus 0.2 minus 0.3. So when you subtract this, again, you'll just stack them up against each other, whatever you want. You can even do it that way, or you can do it the other way. So if you do it 1 minus 0.2 minus 0.3, you'll get 0.5. I hope till now the concept is clear how to do this. The 1 will be a whole number, so you put 1.0 here, minus, put the larger number first, 0.3, and then 0.2. You can do it like this as well. So 1 will become 0 because the other one wants the number. So it will become 10 minus 3 is 7. You can also write like this, 7. And 7 minus 2 is 5. So you just write 5 at the bottom. And the 0 will just be dropped here, 0.5. So this is 0.5 is the answer. Let's go to the next one here. Again, approximation. So now they want to the nearest whole number. Now where is your whole number? 12. So 2, you'll look beside it. What is that? 3. 3 is smaller. So we'll write 12. Next one, 8. 8.803. Now 8, you look at 8. And then the number beside it will be, it's more than 5. So it will be 9, right? We'll add 1. Then 1.05 will just be 1. Now let's subtract them. So 12, we'll subtract these two numbers. 12 minus 9 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. So you'll just write here 4. So instead of writing 12.308 minus 8.803, you'll write the numbers that you have rounded them to. So 12.308 will round to 12. 8.803 will round to 9. Okay? And remember, be careful about the signs. Follow them. So first subtraction, then addition for this one. Now again, it's just multiplication that you'll be doing. 1.72 times 3 times 3. What are you getting here? You're going to get 5.16 for the first one. 1 second, let me do this. 6 and then 7 times 3 is 21. 1 here, 2 here, 3, 4, 5. So 5.16. There you go. Let's go to the next one. Okay, for the whole number, here I just want to explain this for the whole number because it's a bit of a different question. So 5.82, 5.82 times 26. When you do this, 6 times 2 is 12. It's the same thing, you know. You just look at the number of decimal places that it has, and that's where you put the answer. Let me show it to you in just a second. 6 times 2 is 12. You put the 1 up. 8 times 6 is 48. 49. You put the 9 here. Put the 4 up here. 6 times 5 is 30. 34. And then you cross the 6 out. Then you have 2 times 2 is 4. 8 times 2 is 16. 6 here. 1 up. 10, 11. Okay, 11 here. You just add it all together, and what do you get? Here you'll get 151.32. Okay, now why did I put the decimal point after these two numbers? Because I had two places values after the decimal point, and in this 26, I don't have any decimal place value. So we'll just do this. Let's go to the next one. Here, Nat drives from village A to village B. So that is village A to village 10 miles. And then from village B, he went to village C. Remember, they did not say that he went from village A to village C. He went to village A to village B and then to village C. So what will we do? We'll follow this pattern, these two. So village A to village B was 10, and then village B to village C was 12. So we add them together and we get 22. Okay? So it'll be 2 and 2, 22 for the first one. So what is it all together? And the next one, they're saying if Nat had gone directly from village A to village C, how many fewer miles would you have driven? So if he went directly from A to C, he was 19, right? So how many miles was it less than if he had, how many miles was it less compared to the first one, where he went to village B and then went to village village A and then village B and then to C. So it'll be 19 and then 90, that's about it. So that'll be 3 miles less if he had driven directly from village A to village C. Now here the same thing, 0.2 times 700. Either you can do it again 2 ways. I'll tell you the easier way. You know this 100, consider as if it's 100. Think of it as 100. Okay, so move the decimal point out 2 times, 1, 2. So it becomes 20. And just multiply the 20 by 7. It will become easy for you in deciding where to put the decimal point, if there is or there isn't any decimal point. In this case, there is no decimal point because we removed it. We moved it to the right. So 7 times 0 is 0 and 7 times 2 is 140. So 140 is the total. Sorry, 7 times 2 is 14 and the total answer is 140. Now 1 times, okay, this is direct. 1 times 1 is 1 and 5 times 4 is 20. So you just write here 1 over 20. 1 over 20. The next one, first of all, I always say whenever you have these kind of fractions, don't forget you're supposed to simplify before you multiply. Because if you don't simplify, you'll get stuck with a very large number at the end. And then you have to simplify it, it's just going to cause frustration for you. So try to solve it, try to simplify it here first. So what is this? We know that 9 is in the multiplication of 3. So we can simplify it by 3 here. 9 divided by 3 here as well. So 1 times 1 over 9 times 7. So what is that? 1 over 21. There you go. You can directly write this, sorry, not there, right here. 1 over 21. Okay, here as well, simplify, try to simplify first. So what can I cancel anything with 16? Yes, I can, because I know in the multiplication of 8, there is 16. So I can divide here by 8, and I can divide above by 8. Okay, so let's rewrite that. So it will become 3 over 2 times 1 over 9 times 3 over 4. Now what are we going to do? Again, we're going to see that if there's anything else that we can cancel. So 3 and 9, right? So we know that 9 is a multiplication of 3. Remember, your multiplication has to be strong for this. So you have to know that which number is in which multiplication. So 3 divided by 3 is 1 over 2 times 1 over 3 times 3 over 4. Again, you can find another one, numbers across 3 and 3. So you cross this out and you cross this out. So you get 1 over 2 times 1 over 1 times 3 over 4. What do I mean by crossing out? I mean you're simplifying. You're dividing this by 3. You're dividing this by 3. Okay? So this becomes, sorry, this one became 1 as well. So 1 over 8 is your answer for this one. When you simplify it, when you multiply it, you just get 1 over 8 because you have 4 times 2 at the bottom now. Let's go. Now here, what is it? Is that you simplify first. I always say simplify before you're going ahead with anything else. So here you'll divide this. Remember, any number that ends in 0, always try to both the numbers across, right? They end in 0 divided by 10. That's the rule of divisibility of 10. So rule of divisibility will help you a lot in simplifying. Always memorize them. So it will become 1 times 3 over 5. So it will become 3 over 5. The next one again, 1 over 9. So 1 over 9 times 27. Then divide here by 9. Divide by 9. So it will become 1 over 1 times 3. So the answer is going to be 3. Reciprocal is just, you're going to flip it. So you're just going to make the 15 the numerator and the denominator will be 8. The next one here, always try to solve the mixed number into a fraction. Try to make it the mixed number into a fraction before you go ahead with the multiplication. So 3 over 4, we're going to make that into a fraction. So multiply it and add. This is how you make it into a fraction. A mixed number into a fraction. That will become 12. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 3, 15. So 15 over 4. And then you have the division sign. I mean, you make it multiplication. And when you make it multiplication, the 7 flips. So it becomes the denominator now. So it was a numerator. Now it becomes a denominator. So then you do 15 over 21. That is going to be your answer for this one. Let's go ahead. Let me just write the answer for this one. Seven times 4 is 28. My bad, 28. So let's go to the next one. So you cannot simplify it because 15 and 28 do not fall in the same multiplication of anything. For the next one, 12, you'll do the same thing. First, convert the 1 over 5 into a fraction. So times, add. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 1, 6 over 5. Rewrite it as it is, just convert the mixed fraction into a normal fraction. So then you now you'll multiply it, change it into multiplication, but now what happens when you multiply? It flips. So the denominator becomes the numerator, and the numerator becomes the denominator. Divide here by 6, divide here by 6. Because usually most of the time, the denominator that you have is like the number across it is in its multiplication. So just divide by 6, always check of course, but most probably that's the case when you're simplifying. So 12 divided by 6 is 2, 2 times 5 is 10. If you don't understand anything, please tell me. If the words I use are too big to understand, please tell me that as well. If I speak too fast, which I know I do, please do tell me. 45 over 8. You just, remember, you're making the division into multiplication, so it'll flip. So 16 over 3. Now just check if 45 is in the multiplication of 3. How do I do that? Because 45 is a large number, so I'll just divide it by 45. Okay, so that's 1. I'll put 3 at the bottom, subtract it, 1, and then 15. That's going to be 5 here, and then there you go, you got 15. If you get a whole number, then that number across is in the multiplication of the number you're dividing by. So over here, dividing by 3. So when we divided 45 by 3, we found out that it does give us a whole number. And so 45 is in the multiplication of 3. So divide by 3, so 15. And then let's look at 8 and 16. Divide here by 8. Divide here by 8. What is that? That is 15 over 1 times 2 over 1. So what is that? 15 times 2 is 30. In a garden, there are only tulips and roses. There are 5 times as many tulips as roses. Given that 25 tulips, how many flowers are there in the garden? Now remember, they told you already that there are 5 times as many tulips as roses. How many tulips do you have? 25, right? 25 tulips. 25 times as many tulips as roses. That means that 25 divided by 5 will give you as many roses you have, right? Because they told us about the tulips, which are 25 times more. So if you want to find out how many roses they are, you have to do the opposite. You have to divide it. So you'll get here 5. Now remember, they didn't ask you about the roses. They told you how many flowers are there in the garden. So tulips and roses. So 25 plus 5. That gives us 30. Oh, sorry. Let's go to the next one. Okay, here I'll advise you to convert these fractions into decimals. If you do that, it'll become easy for you to check exactly where which alphabet lies. Now at the middle, just write 0.5 for your own reference, so you know that this one is the middle point. Now let's divide it. 1 over 3, let's try the smallest. So let's try from 5 over 6. So 5 over 6, what will we get? 0.83. So try to divide this. I hope everyone knows how to divide that. So 6 up and 5. As we know that 5 is smaller than 6, we'll put 0 up. We'll put a 0 beside it. And of course, you have to put a decimal point after it as well, always. Because after every whole number, there is a decimal point that you have to remove, that you have to put up. And then you can put a 0 here. So we already did that. We have 50. We know that 8 times 6 is 48. We'll put the 48 at the bottom. And then we'll get 2. We'll subtract it, we'll get 2. And then we can put as many zeros as you want because we're ready to move the decimal point. So you can add as many zeros as you want. So 6 times, what is that? 3. 6 times 3 is 18. And then you get 2 again. So you don't have to continuously do it. You can just end it here. So 0.83, right? The next one. 2 divided by 3, you do it the same way. You'll get 0.67. You can ask many questions you don't know. And please don't forget to subscribe. And 1 over 3 is 0.33. and 1 over 4 is 0.25. Okay, there you go. Now you're just going to match them. So now you know that what is the closest one that's to 0? That's your A. So which one of these is closest to 0? Tell me. That is going to be 1 over 4. So A is 1 over 4. Then which one is closest to A? So A is the one that's close to 0, but which one is now closer to A? B. So B is going to be 0.33. Which one is the furthest apart? Like that's the closest to 1. So let's see. That's D. So we'll put D, 5 over 6. And the last one, C, 0.67. That's closer to 0.5. Okay, now in here, 5 over 4. 5 over 4. And you do multiplication again, so you make the denominator into numerator. So 16 over 15. Now what you do is that you divide, okay? So first of all, before you divide, what do I mean by divide? I mean simplify. So we know that 15 is in the multiplication of 5. So we can just clearly divide both the places by 5 here. So it will become 1 over 4 times 16 over 3. The same thing you can see for 4 and 16 as well. You can divide here by 4. And we know that 16 also lies in the multiplication of 4. So we can divide by 4. So it will be 1 over, it will be 4. Just let me write the 4 up here. So the answer in this will be 1. So it's 1 over 1, and the other part is 4 over 3. So 4 times 1 gives us 4, and 3 times 1 gives us 3. So 4 over 3. Let's go to this one. You have 4 over 5, 4 over 7 times 5 over 11. So 4 times 5 is 20. Now again, you cannot simplify anything. 11 and 4 you cannot because you have to check across. 7 and 5 you cannot. So it'll be 20 over 77, right? So 20 over 77. Let's go to the next question. Now here, what is the fraction of marbles are red? So you can see how many marbles are there? 3 over the total number. When they say a fraction, it's always at the bottom will be total of what they're asking. So marbles, how many total marbles you have? 15. So 3 over 15. Now remember, you can simplify this by dividing by 3 above and 3 at the bottom. So you'll get 1 over 5. The next fraction of these marbles are not red. So remove the red and add the rest of them. What do you get? 12 over 15. Now again, 12 over 15 is again in the multiplication. Both the numbers above and below are in the multiplication of 3. So you can divide here by 3. You can divide here by 3. So what do you get? 4 over 5. So there you go. That's your answer for this one. 4 over 5. And the next one here, okay, I know this is a bit hard for some people, so let's try it. Again, they just made it into a fraction. So what's 5 times 2 plus 1? You get 11, right? 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So write 11 here. Again, do the same thing for that. 5 times 1 and plus 1. 5 times 1 is 5, plus 4 is 9. So 9 over 5. Now, remember, you got 99 at this stage. When you solve it, you get 99 over 10. Now, don't get confused. Why do they have 3 numbers now? So what they did, sorry, if they just, first of all, they simplified here. Sorry, okay. Just they divided here, sorry, by 99. So we know the closest number to 99 in the multiplication of 10 is going to be 9. So we put 9 up, we put 10 at the bottom. Sorry, 90 at the bottom. My bad. 90 at the bottom. And then we subtract 9 and 0. Now I know that there is 9 at the bottom here, 9 up, and 10 here. So what am I going to do? I'm just going to write the denominator always stays the same. So what was the denominator previously? 10. What am I going to put above? Just a minute. What am I going to put on the side is what you have is 9. We're just going to put 9 in here. Okay, let's go to the next one. So the denominator always stays the same. It's just the side number that becomes the top number. So let's go to the next one. The same thing you'll be doing here. 5 over 8. It'll flip. It'll become 1 over 10. And this one will become 1 over 8. Now you simplified it, right? Because what happened to the 5? You see the 5, it became 1. So if the 5 became 1, it means they simplified it. So here they divided here by 5 and they divided here by 5. So what does that become? That becomes 2. just a second, so 2. Then you're going to multiply them 8 times 2 because you cannot further simplify it, so it'll become 16 at the bottom. Let's go to the last one, last question of today, yay. 4 times, what is it going to be? Look, you can also see it here, they flipped it, they put 3 at the bottom, 3 went at the bottom. So what will be at the top? 5. Now, multiply them, 5 times 4 is 20, 20 over 3. Now remember, this is an improper fraction, and they want to convert that to a mixed number. So put the 3 outside, the 20 inside. Simplify it, you'll get 6 up. That will give us 18, and that will be minus 2. So what is going to be? Remember, I told you the denominator always stays the same. So like the denominator, what do I mean by that? This 3, the one that you're dividing by. So this will stay 3 here, and this will become 6. Okay, thank you for your time today. I know it's a bit longer class because there was a mixture of concepts in this one. Take care of yourself, study hard. If you have any questions, comment down below, and please don't forget to subscribe. Take care of yourself.